ka maumahara tonu tātou, kia rātou. The Ode of Remembrance will now be recited by first Miki Apati, RSA Kaumātua, and then BJ Clark, National President, RNZ RSA. Shortly, a minute's silence.
E kore rātou e kaumātua tia. Peni ia tātou kua mahu I hone. E kore hoki rātou e ngoi kore. Ahakoa pēhea I ngā huatanga o te wā. I te heke ngā atu o te rā. Tai noa ki te ara ngāke I te ata. Ka maumahara tonu tātou, kia rātou. Ka maumahara tonu tātou, kia rātou.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
And now, a minute's silence. He tā kunetanga whakahirahira tēnei rā whakamahara ki ngā hoia o Ahitreiria me Aotearoa. Anzac Day is such an important national occasion for both Australians and New Zealanders. The national anthems of New Zealand and Australia will now be sung by the Tawa College Blue Notes, accompanied by the Royal New Zealand Air Force Band. Te tāhua hoki, ko tērā te reo o ngā tauira o te kura tuarua o Tāua, me te pēne o te tauārangi roera o Aotearoa. The national anthems of New Zealand and Australia, sung by the Tāua College Blue Notes, accompanied by the Royal New Zealand Air Force Band. Now, the Anzac Address at the special dawn service by the Honourable Ron Mark.
He aku ika e whero e huitahi nei, e te hunga hoiaia o nā pākanga o mua. O nā pākanga e haere ake nei, nā puaru, nā whānau, mihi mahana, kia koutou katoa I tēnei rā maumahara. To the veterans, the soldiers of the past and present battles, the widows and the families, and all those who have gathered, my warm greetings to you all on this day of remembrance. For more than 100 years, New Zealanders have gathered together each Anzac Day to remember and honour those who have served our nation in war, those who didn't come home, and those who did come home, though wounded, maimed, tormented, and forever changed by their service. And it is also fitting and proper at this time to give thanks and to remember the families. This year, we also mark the 75th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. And while there can be none of the customary dawn services, no breakfasts, no tots of rum, no pints with old mates, almost none of the events that we would normally associate with this very special day, we can and must still take the time to pause, reflect, and pay our respects to those who gave so much, not just 105 years ago at Gallipoli or during the 6 long years of the Second World War, but for every conflict, every operation that we have been involved in since then. We owe them that, and it's a privilege to do so. A privilege bequeathed to us by the tens of thousands of our forebears who paid the ultimate price, that we might live with the freedom and liberty that we enjoy today. New Zealanders have served, fought and died alongside allies, friends and other Commonwealth nations over many, many years, many decades. But on Anzac Day, we especially commemorate our long-standing relationship with our closest neighbours and friends across the Tasman, who started with us with the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, that legendary corps that gave this day its name. The Anzac relationship is one of unity and mateship, binding us as closely today as ever. And whilst it was forged on the beaches of the Gallipoli Peninsula, in the years since we have served side by side all over the world, we did then, we do today, and we will again when called upon. We should be, and we are, very proud of that relationship and of the strength that we give to and receive from each other in the tough times our countries sometimes face, apart and aside from military conflict and peacekeeping. May that never falter. May that never change. And today, our small band of Second World War warriors, our veterans, are amongst those most affected and threatened by COVID-19. At this difficult time, we must do all that we can to support our elderly veterans and to protect those most at risk. The comprehensive measures New Zealand took to combat the threat posed by COVID-19, have turned all our lives upside down, that we know. However, we only need to look back at the terrible influenza pandemic of 1918 to see what could have happened if we had not acted so swiftly and so decisively. The 1918 pandemic coincided with the armistice that ended the First World War. And near my home here in Carterton, the Featherston military training camp was especially hard hit. First cases were recorded in the camp late in October 1918. And by Armistice Day, nearly 2,500 men had gone down sick. Within a few short weeks, the pandemic had claimed 172 lives within that camp. In all, the 1918 influenza pandemic killed around 9,000 New Zealanders, losses which came on top of the grievous casualties that we as a nation had suffered through that First World War. Today, as the world faces the ongoing challenge, we should look back and take strength and inspiration from the courage and the endurance shown by our forebears at Gallipoli in 1915, in the bloody carnage of Passchendaele, the Somme, Crete, El Alamein, and many, many more battlefields and conflict zones since then. As the Minister of Defence and for veterans, I am enormously proud of our Defence Force, and I especially thank, on behalf of the government, all those serving for all the work they have been doing during this current crisis. As always, they stand ready to do much more, to do what our armed forces personnel have always done, to step up for us all in the face of a threat to our national well-being and our safety. And to have done all this whilst at the same time lending aid and support to our Pacific Island neighbours and friends in their time of need has been absolutely outstanding. We are grateful, we are proud of you, and we thank you for your service and your dedication. So, this Anzac Day, look after one another. Remember, commemorate, give thanks within your bubble. Ka maumahara tonu tātou ki a rātou, lest we forget. Kia kaha.
E te minita nei rā te mihi ki a koe. That was the Anzac address by the Honourable Ron Mark. And that brings to an end the special dawn service for 2020. Thank you so much for being part of this. Ka maumahara tonu tātou kia rātou. We will remember them. Kia tau te rangi mārie kia tātou katoa. Noho oro mai.